dark creates the spark, ways the heart as I sun ray my art, her make the patriarch. Most social media saviors I fix, marks once we make knowledge want this when time and space rock. The great matriarch, whether it's day or dark creates the spark, ways the heart as I sun ray my art, her make the patriarch. Most social media saviors I fix, marks once we make knowledge want this when the rhyme and bass rock. I rose up, took a shower, purified my arc field, took copper for a wall to ensure my chlorophyll is pumping. Done some curls for sure, I've more to build. Solid foundation, my crown, chakra, core, and hill. Pound the pavement, sacred ground, freedom I stand for. Free all political prisoners of war, man or woman and child. Rid the land of all foreign and alien entities. I decree this morning, send them back to whence they came. Is the peace laugh or war cry, whatever the relevant name of each path, simple, highest form, spiritualities, how you teach math, a humble beach is still a beach. Now feel the peace wrath, rain fire upon them, and the internet forms, sigils, emojis, and the avatars that wore them. Destroy this de facto government and its quorums, establish big monsters.
Yo, Charlie, what's up, baby? What's happening? What's happening?
Whether it's day or dark, create the spark. Ways the heart as I sun ray my art, her make the patriarch. Most social media saviors I fix, marks once we make knowledge born is when time and space rock. The great matriarch, whether it's day or dark, create the spark. Ways the heart as I sun ray my art, her make the patriarch. Most social media saviors I fix, marks once we make knowledge born is when rhyme and bass drop. Expose, note to self, quit playing, hit the gas. This shaft is called my turn, take the risk and spaz. Most of them got vaccinated with chips in their ass, plus rappers sacrificing each other for grits of their cash. Sad can't watch videos without the subliminals. Predictive programming, weirdo, sprung menstrual shows. The land's contaminated, fruits and vegetables, black minerals, the water and skies I fry. Liquid chemicals, technology got me here in front of my desktop, perusing these speech and whatnot for my best option, contemplating which bar will next spot to unlock the minds that are stuck within a Xbox. Off the chart, I continue to climb, watching the rest flop like carp fishing, 100% fresh short water. I'm on the front line, X marks the spot. I shine because of her, for she's the best sport. The great matriarch, whether it's day or dark, creates this spark. Ways the heart as I sun ray my art, her make the patriarch. Most social media saviors I face, marks once we make knowledge born is when time and space rock.
I said it was still waiting. Like you said, Don, what's going on, bro? What's going on, y'all?
Most social media saviors I face, marks once we make knowledge born is when the right and bass drops.
How you turn it on?
All praises to the Most High. All praises to the great matriarch. Honor and respect to our ancestors. Jah, you've always had a father, the author of your flow, with your fire starter, the cause of your glow. But the trail I've blazed, I pray you turn from it. The hell I've raised, I pray you don't burn from it. The work I put in, I pray that you earn from it. The mistakes I've made, I pray that you learn from it. You my splitting image, little darker, little taller. I'm a shot caller, though you just a little baller. Little chief, I'm still teaching you like he has Yang. My healing, reaching you despite me locked and chained. Black you speaking true, you ignite lots of pain. I feel the releasing of lightning and drops of rain from the sound cloud. You sound like me, the crown sprout. But unlike me, son, you haven't turned down loud. A smoke screen which surrounds you, shrouds your sound. My shout allow your genius to astound the crowd. My beloved, you scintillate profuse. You my beloved, you resent fate foolishly. You my beloved, you ventilate truthfully. You my beloved son, and who I'm well pleased. Okay, showing your vision is resplendent, my descendant when filming your intuition extends. The lenses felt when your cinematographic flashes of your scripted class. Get your inner magic
Little Ruby just hop in. Yeah, I'm gonna boost you already. Yeah, right. Hey, Sharon, what's up, mama? I got Charlie. Yeah, yeah. All right, we're gonna get it going. I'm just a couple of minutes. Okay.
No time for second guessing. It's destined. You knew who was who through a reflection that she showed you of me many years ago. Special features presentation appears to show you my beloved. You scintillate profusely. You my beloved. You resent fate foolishly. You my beloved. You ventilate truthfully. You my beloved son, in whom I'm well pleased. Now Samuel, I am you. Found for sure that the signal is a scramble or deprogrammable. From a look up to a lion, not of my bloodline. Don't give a damn, don't love you as if you was mine. I'll be the first. Forgive me for my absence. The most I sat me down to learn patience through abstinence. Amongst other lessons, perfect my craft and talents. Balance of our legacy in the Black Hawk's talents. Face adversity, overcome all challenges. Generational wealth for the next generation to us. Can't make the same mistakes of past.
And my music, and a lot of this music, it's only talking about the suppressed rising. I mean, the oppressed rising up against the oppressor. That's all. That's what my music's about. The oppressed.
Yeah, used to be a man. I could tell that right off the back.
Are the oppressors. The only people who have any harm coming to them are those who oppress. Simple as that.
3-pound pressure, no weight lesser. Drop the oppressor, make no surrender. 3-pound pressure, no weight lesser. Drop the oppressor, make no surrender. 3-pound pressure, no weight lesser. Drop the oppressor, make no surrender. 3-pound pressure.
Thank you, Tom Gray. Tom Gray.
It's time for a change, got a bounce up. Oppressor's about to get tossed up. I'm gonna let him out. Execution staff too late with apologetic claim. You rap that.
You ought to see that. Look, you know, you can train anybody up to be shooting, moving, or in a timely fashion. Give them the weapons to get a heads up on people. You could do all that. It's not a complicated thing. It really is. It's made out to be because you want to get those you think are the best while you're tearing them down. Anybody could do that, but it's when you started weaponizing, when you put the costumes on and everything else. You got an idiot out here in the plain clothes doing his little recording. Because, see, mentally, they think that they grabbed with these things to do this. And I'm walking, I'm like, should I go down there and knock this cat out? I don't care for who he thinks he is and how well. And I'm like, nah, they recording, you know. But I'm saying the nerve is to even capitulate to think that they could do it like it's all right. That's enough. I don't care, actually. But the thing is, to think that you're doing something like you being covert or whatever the fuck, first of all, it's like the police. Right now, to me, these agents and ICE and all this other shit, they're not deep military tier 1 operators, all right? I don't give a fuck if a couple of them were ex-Green Beret or whatever, or SEAL, whatever, right? It's only a handful of them. But these motherfuckers, they should, as far as I'm concerned, shouldn't be allowed to wear camouflage. They shouldn't be running around with M4s. They shouldn't be running around with balaclavas on their face. I don't think any of them earned that to be in a position to be on the soil. Now, I know a lot of you have a hard time. You don't study the Bolsheviks and this, that, and what they did in all certain countries. I know you don't study it. Because I can tell by how y'all comment, the fact that you don't say shit, that some of you want to be comfortable because you're not doing some things I asked you to do. So when a motherfucker's directly doing it and they looking at me, wearing shades don't stop me from seeing what you're doing. So if you want to pursue that and you got a little jiu-jitsu, you got your black belt or whatever the fuck, don't say nothing if I come up and knock you the fuck out. Because see, if I find you a threat or doing terroristical tactics on my soil, my ancestral soil, not yours, I'm going to come up and I'm going to deal with you like that. That's what you're looking for. You're warlike, right? That's what you function, right? Your functionality, why they allowing you to come out of the deep state and function and move around, because you've always been moving around to people. They're just too stupid to know it. I'm not here to stop you, but stop trying to be outright like you're rogue, went rogue, and you got it like that, because you don't. I don't give a fuck about my hurt knees. I tell you to let you know, bag. the specifics to this shit. My wrist. We're not talking about Simotoko and all this other shit. There's a lot of things y'all know nothing about. Be respectfully responsible, even if you don't have no responsibilities or anything other than doing what the like a lapdog with your tone, like the little goofy ass army officers that decide to dress up like motherfucking Rottweilers with their goofy ass inverted selves. I don't give a fuck about none. Don't stand out there looking like a fucking retard because you're emotionally showing me that you're emotionally unstable. So anyway, let's get into it because I'm tired of stupidity. The level of stupidity is incarnate to something that has nothing to do with the reality of the system, the projection of it, its direction. They're always going to use little goofy motherfuckers to get certain things done, to which they ain't really getting nothing done. They're just speeding up something else. That which needs to know knows it and probably thinks it's got a way to bow out of it or whatever the fuck when it's all said and done. When the rest of you motherfuckers won't even be a blink and a fucking specter of light. Or the frequency of it or anything. It won't be shit. I don't care how you feel, how you take it, what you think you know, and all that other stuff. That's not I'm not contagious to that problem. All right? Now, anywho, that's why I don't give a fuck about listening and watching whatever the fuck. Censoring, all the other fear shit. I don't care. I respect the fact that we're in a time and age that's been laid out before you to do what you do, being groomed and conditioned, and it's no problem. I'm not here to stop that. There are other things that can stop that. I ain't got nothing to do with it. No parlay with it. So stop being fucking retarded. There are things that can stop it. Every fucking thing. So anyway, stop being worthless, thinking you found everything, you fought everything, whatever the fuck it is they've conditioned to make you think or drilled into your fucking mindless caps. So you see the stuff going around about the weapons utilized when they went into witch card. That's a small sample of a lot of shit they have. That's the way it is. I told you what they tested on me when I was in the military and a few of our guys. I was like, what the fuck? Yeah, man. So, but I was young and ignorant. I hadn't even gotten to the petition of an acceptance of who and what I may be or anything. That's unimportant. I not give a fuck. All right? What I was supposed to see, our dreams, all the shit I saw as a young one, all the abuse. I wish I could tell my mother right now. She's on my Facebook page. Thank you for beating the fuck out of me and snapping me, doing something to me that I had no clue about. Appreciate you. Oh, maybe it was always meant to be that way. Pushing me down the stairs dressed like a little cowboy. I don't know what the fuck it was. But regardless of that, all right, when I did accept who I was, all of a sudden I got poisoned. I pulled through, doing exactly what I was inside me told me to do. While they were lying to me, only the Ethiopian doctor, the Ethiopian fucking doctor, big old afro-head nigga, sat up on the fold-out couch and looked at me with his hands like this and says, yeah, you were poisoned. They're not going to tell you. Like I was some kind of experiment. Worst thing they could fucking do. That's why I say choices are important. A lot of people are going to choose to do wrong because, let me tell you something, man. When you, like me, I like to invent shit. Well, whatever the fuck it is. Reinvent, whatever the fuck it is, right? But when you get stuff, you ain't make, you ain't create, you invent, and you're trained up, and then they slowly reveal and give it to you. This is old world tech. Nothing new about it. Just probably had to make it a different way or something compared to how it was before. And you go out there and use it, you feel incredible, invincible. Look what we can do. Poor choice. That's all I'm saying. Now, regardless of that, all right? A little tobacco. Oh, the fast is on. It's an intermittent fast. It's 72 hours, but I will have maybe a couple boiled eggs or maybe a quarter head of cabbage, a couple pieces of pineapple tomorrow. Not today. This is pretty much a couple of sips of water and mineral water and dandelion root tea and pumpkin seed or black ice. I showed y'all, black seed oil at certain increments or times of the day. But that's intermittent fasting for me. So I still do my tobacco. I like my tobacco, I had my friend tested to see if the mRNA in there, and he said there's a lot of shit in there wasn't in the one I tested before a couple of years ago. But he says he can't tell if it's in there. He doesn't see the spike that it's different. So I don't give a fuck about it one way or the other. As y'all probably should know by now. Excuse my language again. All right. I text you a lot. His name, listen to the, yeah. I text Shy that you like. I appreciate it, fam. Oh, let me pull it up on here too. So that way I can, in case it goes out and I have to, you know what I mean? Yeah. All right. Let me go over here. Oh my goodness. There we go. Let me turn it down because it was. Okay. You can hear me, right? Okay, I'm gonna hit the filter too in case. Because yesterday I hit the filter and it was like 7 or 8 comments. I couldn't even see, you know? Okay, cool. Anyway. Is that my boy from me or what? No, okay. Anyway, y'all saw Chief Wild Horse getting ready. She's a great granddaughter of an individual at a certain war that I had relatives that fought in for Florida, Louisiana, in a battle. Andrew Jackson called upon. I had some of my relatives, and you know, it's funny. You would think with all these people sitting up, especially that worthless ass Phoenix Moon, you would think that because she is pathetic. You know, when you got real ones around, these individuals who just want to be recognized and this, that, and other, who don't have the history. I'm not even going to talk about a couple of the treaties made with my relatives. My father used to speak about when he was in Vietnam. They'd be like, them Peckerwoods didn't even know what the fuck he was talking about. That's what he held war college and all that. Well, when he went to the army, let's put it like that. And that's the stuff that kept him drinking. And you know, there's a lot of things. The men of my family, with the Chickasaw, the Chata. I told you I've outlived a lot of them. They didn't have to fight. You know, I told you about my one great grandfather in New York. Harlem, went to a juke joint, got a drink on big burly man. And motherfucker started with him because he looked different. You know, my father. I'm gonna put a picture of my father up too. He looked different. And they didn't explain who they were. If you didn't know, they were aware there's a lot of people who were ignorant, they were foreign or whatever. And he went and had a couple of drinks and he just left. He, you know, getting ready to leave, and he had to clean the place up. He had to whoop some ass. So some old punk ass nigga, like so many, went and shot him in the back of the head twice. You know? And my grandpa, Pop was young, my grandpa back then, I guess it was 30s or 40s or something like that, went looking for the motherfucker that did it. I can't say whether they got him or not, because there's a lot of us. There wasn't a little number of us. There's a lot of my people still up there in Pennsylvania, New York, Jersey, and all that. Yeah, they know the Chickasaw, the Chata. And he was young. I think that happened when he was about 40, I don't know, 48, 50. I can't remember about these goofy ass years. As you know, my father, when I was in the military, when I was with him, I was 19 going on 20. I was about 20. Sitting with him on Bloomfield Avenue at the bus stop where the Lackawanna Plaza used to be, across from AT&T, well, across from Mayflower, right across from Mayflower Moving Company, AT&T right there. Lackawanna Plaza, they done perverted it, changed it, and all this goofy shit, got rid of the high sky train that used to be there and turned it around in the sky, you know, the Tartarian stuff. And he went and had a seizure, you know. He come from the old school when he was locked up. I don't know if it was Attica or if it was, I don't know. He was locked up in New York and one of the Broadway. I don't know where it was, but there's an old thing about having war wounds, wanting to fight. He had got his jaw, somebody snuck him with a weight and broke his jaw. Big man, big man. And they were going to reset, and he said, "No, I don't want to reset. No, this is a war wound. This is a trophy. That's the kind I come from." Now they might say something else. They saved him, and he got jabbed up and all. Jeez, man, my father became a fucking retard after shooting that cocaine shit and doing the dumb things he did. There were no cameras around and all that. It was all word of mouth. But you know, Van Long and all the other shit that they were doing, they were bruisers and fighters. You know what I'm saying? Robin Banks, all that kind of dumb shit. Another one of my great great grandfather drank himself to death. Didn't have nothing to fight. He didn't have no more. There's nothing else to fight. He didn't feel like he had a purpose. You know, if there was something to fight, he'd have been straight clean, sniffing a mile away, running everywhere, shooting and scooting. That's, you know. So kudos to Chief Warhorse. I think that's great. I told you, we're the original heirs of this land. I'm not here to prove nothing to some inbred, hybridized, whatever the fuck they want to call themselves, science or doctors, medical. I don't care about all that. You know? When you know the truth, I know some of my Spanish-speaking people have a hard time, not all. When we're talking about the Basque, I says, look up the Basque, study the history, learn something. Nobody said nothing to you. You didn't know about it. Look at the Bolsheviks. Look at the Hindus, the ones that keep working with the fake Jews. Look at the real truth. And realize there are people who made decisions to do what's being done. There's more to it, but that's for you people that are stuck there and want to find out how and why or whatever. Well, find out. When I was asking y'all to look into the, you know, the Witchcraft Society, Theosophical Society, I was doing it the way it was negative to get y'all to look so you could see that it wasn't a negative and nobody fucking looked. So I said, let me go get Helena Blavatsky and read some of her magnificent stuff because I thought it was the greatest thing, but nobody looked. Otherwise, you would have came and said, Brad, nah, it says something different. Maybe you don't know. And challenge me. I'm like, oh, so you see now. Oh. The majority of the world is so conflicted and confused, they don't even know what a real Indian looks like. They've forgotten. They look many different ways, many shades of black or brown or tan or I don't know what these crayon colors shit. I'm weak. If you're going to speak Tartary and all over the world, you need to know that everybody knew everybody. So the idiots divided everybody. You can't figure it out. I told you a story yesterday about Gog and Magog. It's real. It's historical. They were locked away. Alexander the Great made into some perverted, goofy bullshit, Rome and Colosseum bullshit. No, Tartary kept them motherfuckers back until he was betrayed. In the mountains, locked away. There's a reason for the Great Wall of not China. It was built before any of them were there. Cathay is still what I call it. I don't care what people think and believe, and their ignorance and their stupor and everything else. All right? It just says what it is. Okay? Just because I had dreams and I remember some shit and woke up in a different fucking fancy and I got a story to tell, it doesn't mean that like I said, I don't give a fuck about, every time I see one of these monkeys, I smell them. I hate saying that because I told you I wasn't going to say it no more. I want to fight. But I choose not to. Too many weak-ass men be around me, man. You know, I want to have the best, what you call it, but too many weak motherfucking men. You can work out, you can run all day long. You can do all that, all you want. You can pop steroids, get your protein right, drink all the water you want and everything else. It's fucking meaningless. Ain't nothing wrong with it. But compared to who and what you were in the past, compared to today and what people have to do, nothing in comparison. Nothing. And you can tell people's mental and everything else, they just can't get it right. What a fucking burden. You heard about the Mirage Cemetery? Hey, what's up, Millennial? What's up, Mama? How you doing, beautiful? You heard about the Mirage? I don't know. What is that? Let me see. I don't know. There's a lot of things I don't know about. I mean, I got more to say here, but let me see. What the hell? Ew. Ah, South Dakota, huh? Mount Moriah and Portland. Hold on, we'll go back now. I'm a little quick. Let me do it again. Shit, this thing just jumped up. Wait, which one you talking about? You talking about South Dakota, Philadelphia, Texas? Which one? Kilgore, Texas, Ohio. Which one you talking about? The one in New Jersey? The major grave robbery. Do you know what it was for? Yeah. I remember something about it. The Moriah Cemetery's grave robberies and stuff. 100 skulls and mummified body parts found in Pennsylvania grave robbery case. Jonathan Garlick case court docs reveal accused grave robbers month-long plot to steal human remains. Yeah, that's recently. That's very recent. More than 100 rooms. Yeah, that was. I think I put a post up showing how morbid these dumb motherfuckers are. Not all, but you know when we talk about there's certain antigens, just like we got our idiots. Everyone has them. But yeah, that has nothing to do with what I'm talking about, beloved. But anyway, going back to the Chata and the Chickasaw, they weren't Mongolians, they weren't Pels. It was none of that. Not only were the mounds part of our way and our giants of old. When we say giant killers, it don't mean we killed all the. We had our giants that fought along with us. How many of y'all went back to my early videos when I was reading certain books talking about the fact that we had giants who worked along with us? And there were giants we fought. And then some of our giants in the fall were hunted down and killed by foreigners. And that's why they have these stories of redhead ones and this, that, and they burned them and set them on fire. That's because they weren't friendly to our people. Like when I was telling people about the Twild, Mississippi, people thought I was gaslighting until I showed them a gazette from that time period. They eradicated them just like the albino indigenous people. You saw my boy passed away, Scott Edward Wolf. Always hanging in Slab City and got his little land over there in the Carolinas. Went to school and grew up with him, my family. I don't have to make up nothing. You see, that's what I'm talking about. Everybody wants to sensationalize something and gimmicky and everything else. I'm just going to talk from the rooter to the tutor, bro. I'm going to bring all the real, I'm going to bring checks and balances. Balance. Plenty of my people, big jurors, a whole lot of folk know. My boy Ease Deal, I love him to death. He came around. You know, these brothers look like Olmecs, you know what I'm saying? Videos, been watching baby on as well, so I hear you, fam. And people don't get it. I read those books so I can break my history to you a little way by using someone's reading, and she was in South Africa, right? And I just want people to realize that our stories are everywhere. When they talk about what's your culture, what's your language, you speak our language and you perform, practice our culture 24/7. You know, it's real funny. How can the world be so duped and lied to? You know what I mean? I said there's one, I said yesterday, this guy been talking about his court case, a veteran, ignorant, dumb, you know, and I'm doing my best to enlighten him. And he says, you know, I got a friend, oh, he black like you. I said, black? Do I look like I'm black? What's this black? You call an African black, they kill you. And if you go back to the 30s and 40s and call somebody black or anything else other than what their nickname was, they'd kill you. He's standing there looking all, you know, this is that fake, what you call it? I said, don't you, and he wanted to keep talking. I said, no, stop the fuck. What language you think you're talking? So I had to run him the mill and educate. I said, if you're mentally incapable of accepting the reality of this, then we're done talking. We ain't shake hands, bump fists, and none of that shit. To me, shaking hands and bumping fists don't mean a goddamn thing. So they stood there. He didn't know what to do. You know, he going to do his nightly shower routine or whatever the fuck at the job. And when people stand there listening to me saying, I started telling him I don't give a fuck. I don't think he was comprehending. And it settled in like, oh shit, he realized I really don't give a fuck. He took a shower, he came back out. I thought about it. I said, you meditated on your thoughts? All right, good for you. Okay, you was right. I ain't asked you whether I was right and wrong. I know what the fuck's coming out my mouth. What vibration, what's being stated, or the vocal cords they call them and all the other shit. I said, you don't have a conversation and thinking it's going to be you running your fucking mouth. I know I like to intercede and whatever because I do it because sometimes I don't want to hear what a motherfucker got to say when it ain't worthwhile. It's poor energy. You stand there like I'm talking to my son or something. I don't talk to my son that way. I wouldn't do that. I'm like, what's wrong with you guys? They've done a deep fucking job. Man, he knew it was time to go. It's just that way. I'll communicate with anyone, converse and talk or whatever. But ain't nobody got time for this dumb, new age, old bullshit, you know? Hey, Sean, what's up, mama? I'm sorry, y'all. I've been on being not reading the chat enough. Listening. Oh, no, appreciate you, mama. You know, I wasn't angry or nothing. I was just like upset that he never really, you know, a lot of people will say they listening and don't hear shit. I'll say they hear you, but ain't really listening. You know? I'm not going to sit there when I'm giving all my value to listening to whatever you got to say and hearing you. And then your whole consortium is just because you want to open your mouth. No, I can tell too when I open when I'm saying something and I'm listening to your rebuttal or whatever. I'm sitting there going, okay, this conversation is fucking over. Sometimes quicker, and because I don't care to entertain stupidity. And I'll be the one to say, well, take it personal then. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. You know? And when I do care, I don't care then. Because either you know or you don't know. How many of y'all study all the treaties of the so-called true orthodox people? Not the fake treaties with these whatever the fuck, all right? Not dismiss, I'm just saying. The real history, not the made-up bullshit. Okay? Y'all ever looked at the treaties? Look at the documents, the signage, who it's with, and the description of the people? That's why I don't do all that arguing with the fucking IDF monkeys who that want to play all the games and shit on InstaFuck or Facebook, whatever, right? I don't do that. I go in and say something to see what they're going to try and do. I want to see how dumb they is. So I can do put a little something mist in the air. You know what I'm saying? Finger in the dirt. I said too much, right? You know what I'm saying? I guess that's why a lot of them leave me alone. But you always got the same little goofy retard that comes around And then I got people that go and be like, oh, I know where that motherfucker at. Like, oh, you seen him before? Yeah, I saw him down in L.A. I saw so-and-so in New Mexico. Where at? And it was at the mall. I was like, seriously? Yeah, we eyes open. I'd be like, oh, okay. You got it, Tom, or Sharon, or whoever. You got it. You already know. But you always got the retards. They can't help themselves. But anyway, they're all running around with their goofy ass selves. You know what I'm saying? They can't help themselves. They can't help themselves. You know what I mean? And that's a beautiful thing. Well, at least for me. I didn't put them. There's no damage control for me, unless they know how to listen when they're hearing shit or hear when they're listening. You know? Y'all see all the soldiers running around in your neighborhood, all the motherfuckers staying in shape, while y'all just, who's that? And the women, ogling over these motherfuckers running around. Them same motherfuckers will put a bullet in your head. Put them big, strong zippies on your wrists and throw your ass in the back of a wagon, or especially when shit go down and certain people survive and they go clean up like they did before. We never read about that, huh? How they was going around and they were going into places, getting those who survived, were hungered, popping them in the streets on our soil, going into old buildings, getting rid of them. Wow. So they have this big consortium now, they have no clue. Hypothetically. You know what I mean? If you don't take your sweet, nasty, get the fuck out. Anyway. There's a lot of things people don't know. Some things you don't need to know. All right, to be honest, there's some things you really, really don't need to know. But as far as information, it's good to go out there, be tactical, read and learn these things, because that way, I know I've had somebody ask me, why you don't do the recognition and all. First of all, I didn't accept that shit, and whatever I took was in ignorance, thinking it was for the betterment of the land. And if it was a lie, and I started realizing it, then it was null and void. It meant shit to me. You know? It's enough that I got to perform, walk around, hold my head up, my joints are hurting, and this, that, and the other, and I'd indulge in some of that garbage and shit. It's enough the lies, and then when I realized the fucking lies, then that's personal. All right? Somebody got an issue. Oh, you not a citizen? No, I'm not a citizen, you stupid fuck. You the ignoramus. You the citizen, you dumb fuck. You're the foreigner. You the occupied. I don't see myself being occupied with nothing. I just see things running around in a whole big fucked up poxy of existence. That's all. Stay where you at. I ain't trying to enlighten the old ignorant motherfucker. All right? Be as ignorant as you got to be, wherever you want to be at, believe whatever the fuck. I don't give a fuck. But here, it's a little different. Well, I want to hear. Don't you don't? You want to hear something because your chemicals are fucked up. You want to hear something you can debate and argue with. There ain't no debate over here, motherfucker. So go on about your business. I don't recognize you any fucking way. That's where that stands at. I don't give a fuck what you're doing. Or who you parlay with. I don't think they get it because they don't know the seriousness of the collusion. So I'm not here to collude with you. I don't give a fuck. A system that don't give a fuck about the people. See, let me tell you something about the government. If they know, and they know, and you're aware, I'm not here to stop what they doing. Whatever the flash of light, whatever the fuck they do is going to happen. You dig? I took the notification off and I'm getting a notification. Ain't that a bitch? That's not my, I'm not programmed and worried about that. I'm just saying for every action, you know what I'm saying? And you better believe I don't give a fuck how well it goes and how good it is and whoever, whatever. Leave my people alone. And if some of my people are still stupid and ignorant and they can't get it together, then that's their choice. Ain't my fucking problem. My thing? Oh, okay, okay. Oh, who is? Oh, they got a party? Okay, all right. All right. Yeah, I got my thing on charge. I gotta go over to which car, so I charge over there. Just charge up all the way. I'll set the solar panel and sun's out. But they're gonna have a party. I'm gonna go over there and get that unplugged and everything so they can set it up because they rent the space and everything. But anyway, I just want to say this: like, your choice is your choice. What you want to do in this life is up to you. I know my ancestors' history very well, and what y'all think tribes mean is not the Hollywood narrative. Oh, running around out there and all fighting each other. That's not what it was. Tribe don't have shit to do with that goofy bullshit. And we'll speak on that later.